Sam. I did myself a mischief, Sam. I tried suplexing train, Sam. I saw it on TikTok. They said it was like life hack, Sam. Oh no.
Also, shout out to Natla's PS2 model. She has fucking sideburns. She looks like Noddy Holder from the band Slade. Do you expect her to get up and turn around and just yell, "It's Christmas!"
Just wanted a cup of tea.
Whee! Oh. Oh. Okay, we won't be driving it down there then.
Whoa! I was not expecting him to be there. Shotgun time, I think.
In some ways made it more playable. But it, oh, wait, what? Oh. And it glitched. Oh no. Did the screaming glitch. Hello, new are those... How new are those start of stream and BRB cameras? Very new. Very new. I only added the music room and the gymnasium.
You mean like the first bit of dialogue from the opening cutscene? I'm guessing that's the one you mean, right? Hang on, here we go. What's a man gotta do to get that kind of attention from you? It's hard to say, really, but you seem to be doing fine. Oh, the actual fuck. It's time to kick ass and raid tombs. And I'm all out of ass. How does one fuck a save crystal? I mean, it's a bit hard, but what I like to do is the first thing to do when you want to fornicate with a save crystal is make sure you take it out to a nice see-through dimmer first. Make sure it's all nice and comfortable. You maybe put some music on in the background just to really kind of set the mood. Make it feel at ease. A couple of candles scattered here and there. Maybe some scented ones from Yankee just to really kind of show that you do really mean business. And then once the night is done, a couple glasses of maybe some really nice red wine or something, settle down, bit of Netflix and chill, and then lots and lots of butter. There you go. That's how you do it. The supernatural. With his shoot first, ask questions later approach, athleticism, and mysterious psychic abilities, he has quickly gained a reputation within certain circles as the go-to guy for when you are having problems involving the paranormal. And so our story begins. A mine in Wales has... Darth Revan. It's fucking Revan! What the hell? What? A Knights of the Old Republic remake? Oh my fucking god! Ugh, Sony coming out with their big ass fucking exclusive dick swinging already. Jesus Christ. Is it?
Well, that one didn't age quite so well. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you, lovely, lovely, lovely people, and we are finally back. And I am so sorry it has taken me this long to get back to you, to stream more content to your eyeballs and your earballs and your nose balls, every balls. But I am happy to be back, and happy to have you back. How are we? Welcome. I do apologise. Again, it's just mostly just to do with the heat, more than anything. Now things have started to kind of like calm down temperature-wise, even though the New Forest is kind of on fire. It's now a comfortable time for me to sit in front of this, in this environment, and just talk shit and play video games. But how the devil are we? The music was too loud. What do you mean too loud? Too loud! Hello, hello. I am having to make some adjustments because I took a little bit to get started because I'm having to make some adjustments to the gain on my microphone. For whatever reason or another, I was about to start streaming, and then all of a sudden my microphone just wasn't working. And it turns out that the software that I use for the XLR microphone that I've got here, it decided to turn the gain all the way down. So just nothing was coming through this. So if I'm like too loud at any point, please let me know. If I'm too quiet at any point, please let me know. And I can make some adjustments. I'm having to do it on the fly. How about now? Is that better? It looks like the volume levels are better now. Again, it's just the mic is funky because the software decided to do some funky stuff and reset all my settings. So hey ho. Who we got in the chat? We got Jenny. We got Apollo. It sounds like I get quieter when I speak. Oh, okay. Interesting. We've got Apollo. We've got Dr. McJoe. Yeah, it does. I did listen to it back a few moments ago. Compressor. Mixes. How about now? It shouldn't be doing too much. Try to bring the compression up a little bit. Maybe. Let's compress my voice just a smidge. How about now? Is it still doing the same thing? Well, welcome. Who we got? Malcolm McSiege. We got Johnny Mac Studios. Sounds better now. Okay, cool. We've got Moon Spirit 25, we've got Frank RTW, we've got Dragon Fairy Studios, Alchemic Siege, Sev Delicious, Scotty Lodinson, Ginny M. Hello, hello. Macho Broccoli Ups, sorry, Force of Habit, Marco Bartley, Steve of War's quotes and suggested gamings too. Oh, wow, thank you for watching that collaboration. It's one of my favorite videos I've done. It was a good opportunity. It was a great opportunity to be able to work with Suggested Gaming. He's a good dude. Moon Spirit, welcome. Epidemic Bubble. Matthew Soul 8739, welcome. Kezi August, Second Bout of Insanity. Film Runner, Future Rosa. Hello, hello. Does sound better. Cool. Oh, it's good I was able to fight through the technical issues and actually start streaming. What was everyone up to? We've, just to sort of say what we've been up to, me and Sarah have finally gotten round to playing Expedition 33. And my god, I can understand now why it won all the awards that it did, because it's an absolutely phenomenal experience. highly recommend to any JRPG or RPG fan. We've not finished it. We're on Act 3. That's all I will say. And it's incredible. It's a really great concept, executed tremendously well. It's an incredibly French game, possibly the most French game I've played in recent memory. Hey, fails. So what Sarah and I have basically been doing is Sarah's been mostly playing through it, but when there are boss fights or certain moments where they require several parry moves to be done in succession, that's when I get handed the controller to help her out with that. So we kind of been playing it together, but it's mostly been Sarah.
I have such slander about me and my inability to parry successfully.
I'm only saying that because of failed comedians saying that he sucks with the parry timing window. And it is difficult. I'm not saying it's an easy thing.
I was going to say, because there have been times where you have been playing, and I've been playing, and you're like, I'm like, yes, I fucking know I'm doing it too quickly, because some of them slow down before they hit you in the face. And then you do it, and you get hit in the face. So fuck you!
This is my wife, everybody, if you haven't been introduced to the tour de force of it, Sarah.
They know me.
Yeah, there might be some people that have joined, but... We're all good here.
I'm literally outside, deadheading about,
Yeah.
giving the garden a tidy, like the slander of Sarah and her inability to carry.
But, yeah, we've been playing through Expedition. You've been mostly playing through Expedition 33.
I fucking love it!
Yeah, it's great. Scotty Loden says, spinning that every day the past week, building your first trolley. Yes, I've been seeing your screenshots of your progress. Very good stuff. Expedition 33 is phenomenal. Glad you're playing it. Yeah, no, it took us a while, but we eventually got through. Got round to playing it.
Could you tell everyone why it's taking you a while to play it?
We've got other games to play.
Because someone's been hogging TV.
Yeah.
Specifically you.
Yeah.
I've not been playing shit.
Yeah.
I've been on Paphobia. I have
I've been playing Yakuza.
to the Switch.
I was playing Yakuza Infinite Wealth.
And Like a Dragon. Wanted to play that again. And you were playing Forza.
Yeah, and you also...
You were hogging telly.
I was. And you could have let... And you shouldn't have let me.
And then when you were doing all the Tomb Raider shit, I was like, oh, play it, I'll do Tomb Raider shit, and you really want to play it.
Yeah, no, it's one of those ones where we both
play.
wanted to find out what happened.
I had to wait through your schedule.
The point being?
That was my point.
Okay.
Can we go back to Fun Chat? What?
Enjoy your plants. Wild Sarah's indeed appeared, but we're hoping everybody as well. And what we're going to be doing tonight is a little bit different. We're going to be going through and discussing the 3 videos that I've not caught up with in terms of the dev diaries that they've been doing for Legacy of Atlantis, and talking about what they've kind of been revealing. And then after that, there is going to be... Actually, before that, we're going to talk about the Kickstarter that's launched by Luke Earl, who is the guy who is organising all the Derby events for Tomb Raider. He's got a very special Kickstarter that he needs everyone's help, including myself. I will be also pledging towards this just to preserve a piece of Lara Croft's history. So without further ado, we're going to pause the music and we are going to go and check out this Kickstarter page. And I really, really do hope... I know like not everyone was enamored with this particular thing, but I hope everyone's feeling generous, because any and all little donations or big donations help. So essentially what Luke has found was the company that made the Lara Croft statue for the Tomb Raider experience in Camden, the one that you heard might have seen me and Sarah talk about. I think it was on a live stream, which we then cut out and made its own video. It was a bit of a mixed thing, honestly. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the exact, like the god-awful worst thing that I think most people were thinking it was going to be. But essentially that statue that was at the front in Camden was put into storage, and Luke, who is the organizer of the Derby events, who helped put together a fantastic Lara Croft exhibition in Derby at the Derby Museum, which I really thoroughly recommend to anybody who can and is going to Derby, unlike myself who isn't, unfortunately. Go and check it out whilst you're there, or make a special trip, because it is phenomenal what they've managed to put together. So the goal of this particular Kickstarter is 30 grand is what they're asking for. And they've reached about 11, which is pretty good. But I'm going to basically read through the blurb that's on this page and then go through all the different tiers, because there are different tiers that you can support and ways that you can support this particular project and help bring this Lara Croft statue home. Yeah, no, 11 grand already is pretty mad. So here we go. Bring Lara Croft home. For nearly 30 years, Lara Croft has been one of the most recognizable characters in video game history. Since her debut in 1996, she has inspired millions of players around the world and become a symbol of British creativity and storytelling. Yes, very true. But Lara's story began in Derby. Created by Core Design, based in Derby, Lara Croft went on to become a global icon, helping to define a generation of games and placing the city firmly on the map as one of the birthplaces of modern interactive entertainment, which is pretty cool. And they do actually have a road in the UK in Derby that is named after Lara Croft, which is pretty cool. Although the road itself is kind of a bit boring, other than the sign. 30 years on, Derby is now a place of pilgrimage for Tomb Raider fans, who come here from all over the world to celebrate Lara and the game every October. All thanks to Luke and his very, very tireless work with the teams that the people of the Derby Quad venue to put all this together. It's a phenomenal place to go to if you are a Tomb Raider fan. Highly, highly recommend to get a chance to get tickets. If you have been able to get tickets, then congratulations, you're going to have a great time. Over October. Having a statue would acknowledge their part in the story by giving them somewhere to congregate, share their stories, and take a selfie or two. In this way, Derby will continue to tell Lara's story by bringing together the people who are keeping her legend alive. The statue will also place Lara among the other icons of Derby, including Florence Nightingale, who has 3 statues in the city. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. By securing this statue for Derby, we will have an opportunity to celebrate Tomb Raider's legacy and give Lara a home in the city where it all began. Pretty nice, pretty cool little blurb so far. Pretty easy to understand. Our goal is to raise £30,000 to secure restoration and transportation and installation of the original Lara Croft statue that stood at the Tomb Raider live experience in London between 2021 and 2023. Oh, man, doesn't feel like it was that far away, but it was. The statue will be the centerpiece of Derby Market Hall, allowing visitors, fans, and future generations to connect with one of the UK's greatest gaming success stories. Very true. This is more than a statue. It's a celebration of the artists, designers, and developers whose work can change the industry. Changed the industry forever, and a recognition of Derby's place in video game history, which is pretty crazy because, like, yeah, you've got like people who go to where the building or where Core Design were originally based was. I haven't actually made the journey to go and check it out because part of me is just like, I've seen a photo of it. I don't necessarily need to go there, but it's pretty cool, I guess. But the other thing is they also have, like, in Derby's like high street, they have stars on the floor in the pavement where they've got different local celebrities, and Lara Croft's got her own essentially got her own Hollywood star, but for Derby. So having a statue on top of that would be pretty cool. Can't talk /here. Just want to say greetings from Tenaby. Hope you all have fun with the stream. Oh, no worries. Just making sure there's no problem with my microphone. Again. Why this statue? This isn't a newly commissioned replica. The statue was originally created for the Tomb Raider London experience and welcomed thousands of visitors between 2021 and 2023, which is true. It represents a unique piece of Tomb Raider history, and without community support, there's a real risk that this remarkable piece would disappear into private storage or be lost to the public. To bring it to Derby, we can ensure it remains accessible to everyone. And why Derby, he seems to say. Lara Croft was born in Derby. There we go. End of sentence. But no, he continues. It was here where the talented team at Core Design created the original Tomb Raider and introduced the world to one of gaming's most enduring characters. From magazines and television to films and merchandise, Lara became a cultural phenomenon And it all started in Derby. Yes. I think a lot of people kind of forget because they might be like fairly new to the series or might not even realize that. Yeah, like her beginning was very much from humble beginnings back in the day. It was this team of ramshackle developers that were just kind of like a mishmash of talents and had an idea, and it just completely took off and flew around the world and became like a standout legacy character. No, you haven't missed much. You haven't missed much, mate. It's all good. The display inside the historic market hall would celebrate not only Lara Croft herself, but also the city's contribution to the global games industry, which is continuing to this day. Become a part of Lara's legacy. This is what you can do, or you get, for becoming a supporter at different tiers. I think this is alluding to. We'll go into more detail a little bit further down. This project is only possible because of the community. Supporters who pledge at the tier of £60 will have their names added to the statue's base, creating a lasting tribute to the fans who helped bring Lara Croft home to Derby. Years from now, visitors from around the world will be able to see not only Lara Croft, but the names of those who ensured her legacy would continue in the city where it all began. What will your support fund? Your backing will help cover acquisition of the statue, restoration and conservation work, transportation and installation, display materials and interpretation panels, long-term preservation and maintenance, Kickstarter fees, and reward fulfillment. Fair enough. Because I did speak to Luke a little bit about this before he went live with his post, and I was able to see a little picture of the thing in storage, and unfortunately it does need a little bit of work to get it to how it looked when it was out on display. So this is what the project will also help towards, if you are interested, of course. A celebration of gaming history. Video games are one of Britain's greatest creative achievements, creative industries, sorry, and Lara Croft is one of the most famous ambassadors. Together, we can preserve an authentic piece of Tomb Raider history and create a landmark that fans around the world can visit. A tribute to the character, the creators at Core Design, and the city that made it all possible. I think there might be a typo there. With your help, we can finally bring Lara Croft home. Lasting legacy. We intend that following the acquisition and installation, ownership of the Lara Croft statue will be transferred for a non-profit community interest company currently being established to celebrate and preserve Derby's rich video game heritage. Pretty cool. The CIC will act as a long-term custodian of the statue, ensuring that this unique piece of gaming history remains accessible to the public and preserved for future generations. This project is more than about acquiring the statue. It's about safeguarding an important part of Derby's creative legacy and ensuring that the city where Lara Croft was born continues to celebrate its place in video game history. Together, we can bring Lara Croft home and ensure that she remains part of Derby's story for generations to come. So yeah, no, he's actually put this is a bit of a better picture from the one I've seen, but you can kind of see in this particular image here, if I was to open this up. So it's mostly fine until you get to down here and you see, like, for whatever reason, there's a chunk missing out of her fanny, which is a bit of a shame. But there's other things to do with the base and stuff. You've got chips in the paint and whatnot, which can be restored and whatnot. But yeah, it's a cool little endeavor, and I fully support like these types of things that act as preservation and ways to allow people to learn about the history of a particular place that they might not necessarily have known about, and especially if it's to do with video games. That's a big tick for me, because I want to make sure that that type of industry and that type of industry's history is preserved as best as possible, regardless of what some people have thought. And I personally hated all the discourse surrounding the statue that was online. I just didn't understand it, and why people was thinking that she looked like a man or whatever, didn't look like Lara Croft and all this other fucking nonsense. But for me, having this sort of statue here in Derby, it's like adding, with especially the museum that they've got with all of the other stuff they've picked up from Core Design, etc., would just be another kind of way to add her legacy to her place of birth and just allow it to just continue to live. And it's a really cool opportunity to have someone, if you got enough money to be able to pay for it, to be able to support it at £60, to get your name written on there. I know, internet's got internet sometimes. Okay. This is an independent community-led project, not affiliated, endorsed by, or sponsored by Embracer Group, Crystal Dynamics, or any of their subsidiaries. So this is basically they're all on their own with this. It's not in any way sponsored by any of the people that own Lara Croft's IP anymore. Blah, 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 blah. So, all these different pledges here on the right, I don't know how well you can see them, chat, but I'm going to basically just like read out what the different pledges are. So the company that owned this statue, I think Luke told me the name of it. Hold on. But it's basically the same company that made all like the stuff for the live experience, like the props, which we'll get to in a minute because there's stuff on offer here to do other than just having your name on a plaque to do with the rewards. Let me just come through now. I'm just trying to find through my messages what it was that he said. So the company that made the stuff for the experience is a company called Little Lion, and that's the people that have got it currently in storage, I believe. That's how Luke was able to track it down. I haven't donated yet, but I 100% will be. I'm just waiting until I've got the funds. It's been an expensive month. So here we go. We got the normal support pledge where you can just basically just help towards the fund. It's like the tip jar, basically. Pledge without a reward, back because you believe in it. So here's the first reward. The first one's just a $5. You can get a thank you from the team campaigning to get this done, which is pretty neat. £10 gets you a digital poster, which was, anyone here remember Jason Chester, who pops in from time to time? Also was a developer on the Tomb Raider remasters. So the digital poster's been designed by Jason. So you get that too, which is pretty cool. £60 is a name on the statue, which we mentioned before. Your name will be added to a plaque on one of the sides of the statue's base, recognizing your contribution to bringing this unique piece of gaming history home. Note, design is subject to change, which is fair. 43 people so far, which is pretty cool. And there are 400 spaces, so there's plenty of space for names if you wanted to be a part of that too. Thank you very much, Uncharted. Oi, oi, how's it going, mate? You doing okay? How's work been, mate? Obviously tell me later, but I hope everything's okay. £100, which is interesting because it's not that much extra for 2 names on the statue. 12 people have gone for that, and there's only about 100 spaces for that particular one. And this is an interesting one. So anyone who was a part of the live experience, like myself, might have seen these particular relics, or what they passed off as relics, for one of the games. And throughout actually the whole thing, you had these relics which you had to complete the puzzles to find, which you can then use in the final room to defeat the boss, so to speak. So essentially, if you were feeling a little bit super generous there, 300 quid could get you the entire set of relics, like one of each color, basically. There's only 3 quantities of these, very, very super limited. It says to receive a complete set of 4 Tomb Raider relics used for the experience, made possible by the support of Little Lion Entertainment. Okay, so it was a typo in my message that I got from him. Little Lion Entertainment are the people that made the statue and everything, the experience. These are the last relics we get. So there we go. And just so they're not clear, just so it's not clear, everything prior to this as a reward you also get retroactively. It's not just you get the one thing and you get nothing else. If you pledge more, can you request your name in the fanny cap? No, not that's going to be repaired, I'm afraid. Although, who knows what people will do to the statue. It's a fucking statue, isn't it? Hopefully not. This one has one backer already, which is incredible. But this is a £500 one for community and business supporter. Become part of Lara Croft's legacy. Business name will be added to the plaque on one of the sides of the statue's base, recognizing your business's contribution to bringing this unique piece of gaming history home. One person. There's 20 spaces for that. I wonder who that is. I'm very curious. This one's interesting. £500 could also buy you an afternoon tea with Judith Gibbons, Lara Croft voice extraordinaire. Join the original Lara Croft voice actress, Judith Gibbons, voice of Lara Croft for Tomb Raider 2 and 3, for an afternoon tea on 25th October. Share stories, celebrate Tomb Raider's legacy, and enjoy an intimate experience with fellow supporters. One person has gone, and there are 9 spaces left, so act fast. And of course, you get all the previous stuff. And then for the super fucking splashy, flashy bastards, 2 of which have already gone for it. Crazy. Become one of the principal project supporters. Your name or organization will receive prominent recognition on the statue base as a lead sponsor, ensuring your support is remembered as part of this landmark celebration of Derby's gaming heritage. Note, subject is designed to change. Subject design to change. Blah, 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 blah. I can't talk. Oh, but yeah, the relics have already gone for this particular one, the complete relic set. That's crazy. But yeah, no, they are doing very well, all things considered. I will just put if you want to find the link to this, it will be here for all you Twitch people and anyone who's basically looking to want to actually donate themselves. Just search Tomb Raider statue Kickstarter, and it will come up with a page as well. If anyone's on YouTube who has the link and can post it for me, that'll be super, super helpful. But now we're going to go and we're going to talk and chat about the videos that have been dropping to do with various different facets of Legacy of Atlantis. And I kind of want to sort of watch these for the first time with you guys, just to sort of like discuss what you guys have like thought yourselves about this particular these particular things, or if it's like brand new to you as well, we can all watch that for the first time. So let's do that now. But yeah, no, looking forward to people who can support that. That'd be amazing, especially for Luke. He puts so much effort and time into making these cool things happen for fans. Yeah, in any way that you can, just like literally spread the word about the Kickstarter if you can share it. That would be also really, really super cool too. Thank you. Right, so this one's about Legacy of Atlantis' puzzles and traps.
You understand all of the steps needed to accomplish it before you do it. You know what the problem is before the solution, and the journey of discovering it is what makes it rewarding.
What differentiates the Tomb Raider puzzle is the archaeological aspect. Like those things very often relate to actual technology that would be used by the Egyptians or the Inca.
The rooms feel...
Oh, it's Megan. Hello, Megan.
Lived in. They had purpose, individual purposes. I think that makes the puzzles harder, which I do love. But it's really, the spaces feel so organic.
We've worked really hard to invest in our puzzles and make them a lot more engaging.
He has a voice like Bob Ross. Does anyone else think that? This Jason Epps guy? I don't know if you can see. Sorry, my fat head is in the way of the the names there. Let me just put me here. And as if by magic. Haha, I'm facing the right way.
There's a cog puzzle where you need to move pieces of a gear down to a center waterfall area that then opens up another path. It's been reimagined a little bit.
Just his voice, man. Just imagine him saying something about happy little bushes. There's some happy little bushes down there. Just beat it like it owes me money.
Pay attention to things. We will not point out with a flashing icon something that is like, this will kill you, this will hurt you. And I think that's really nice because you feel a lot more rewarding when you overcome that because you paid attention.
It is all about exploration, discovery, and solving the most complex challenges in our game.
The biggest difference between Greece and Egypt are puzzles.
I love this guy's fucking beard. This guy has basically models his entire aesthetic off of the faces that you see on those Greek pots in Hercules.
For Greece, puzzles are tightly connected or maybe rooted within the mythology. The theme for the puzzles,
Holy shit. So I'm seeing like a bunch of this concept art and stuff for the first time, honestly, and it's just incredible. Like I'm really excited to explore these environments. Like I know that it's yet another Tomb Raider 1 remake, but I'm so intrigued by how they're going to go about doing this and retelling these environments that I want to play it now.
themselves are strictly wrapped
I don't want to wait. Fuck that shit.
around the mythology or a particular Greek god or a particular Greek event.
We have a Hephaestus, and we're trying to make this room all about the fire and forging the metals. We have a Poseidon room, which is my favorite.
No Thor room, rest in peace.
Just because we could play the most with it. It's the biggest one, and we could play with what water does to the places throughout the ages.
So this will be basically like Anniversary's version of Poseidon's room, but like to 11. Like way more intricate and detailed than the last. But I'd imagine similar in concept rather than... Because admittedly, like, Tomb Raider 1's Poseidon room was kind of boring. You just swim down a very long tunnel and then get a key and then come back. It's like more of an endurance test than anything. And yeah, for the time, it was fine. Absolutely fine. But yeah, Poseidon's reimagining in, like, Anniversary was certainly, like, one I prefer. And it's interesting to see how they're going to build upon that.
When it comes to Egypt, puzzles.
Oh, well, 100% getting Gold Lara, UZ, 100%. It's one of the most iconic things of Tomb Raider 1. That and Pierre's horrendous accent.
Are different in a way that all of them are physical based. These are machines. Egyptians would develop really advanced system, complex devices to just open the gate.
There's, let's say, a meta puzzle in Egypt, right? You're leading this beam of light.
Light puzzles. Light puzzles! The bane of my tomb raiding life.
Right throughout the whole level, reflect this beam all over Egypt, so then it gets in the right place.
Egypt feels like one large interconnected puzzle and place to hide and protect something very important.
Mythology versus engineering.
I think the crucial part in a Tomb Raider game is that traps are like a carrot. If the enemies are the guardians, the traps are the executioner. In a game like ours, where traps are kind of like a big part of the flavor of the game, of like the importance of what a Tomb Raider game is, we want to really sell the idea of like, you're no longer in Kansas, right? As we get further along, the traps are more deadly and they're more precise and more exact, and generally the technology in the traps used, they just scale up exponentially, right? Press on a pressure plate here and it triggers step 1 out of 4 of a larger puzzle. And I think these kind of neat puzzle rooms that kind of start with you interacting with something is really a core strength of the Tomb Raider
I think this is also the first time I'm seeing the footage in 4K as well.
franchise. And we definitely have a bunch of those in our game. Sometimes we use a bit of world building and kind of little storytelling in a corner where you see someone suffered because they failed to overcome this. We think that these small moments of this kind of combination of level and world building makes the traps feel more real, because it's like, I'm not the first one to step into this. I'm not the first one to kind of fail at this. This is a cautionary tale. And I think those moments are really cool.
So when you're playing through the levels, you might find more puzzles than you remember, but the core of them remain the same.
I'm kind of a bit wary about them just repeating the same B-roll footage of the same locations over and over again. I kind of wanted to hope that at this point they had some more to show off, but we'll see.
To give you all the tools that you need.
They're being very coy and very kind of withholding. Like, show us a bit more. It's coming out in February, guys. Give us more.
For when you go face the final puzzle or the big puzzle, you've done all the things before. And you're trying to figure out the solution, not what the problem is.
What kind of challenge keeps you thinking?
And then there's like the thing at the end where Alex Wilson Reagan tries to sell you the game. Subscribe now to find out more. Right, so this one here, traversal and movement reimagined. But yeah, what does everyone think so far? I can understand why people are a little bit kind of annoyed that it's all of these seem to be showing the same footage over and over again, and I'm kind of like agreeing. I kind of just want them to show a bit more that we haven't seen. You know, I kind of want there to be something that we can really get our teeth into. It's not a complete write-off by any stretch of the imagination. It still looks great. I just want to see more, you know what I mean?
This is a moment where a normal person would step to the side. Lara Croft doesn't step to the side, she cartwheels to the side. Because she's fast, because she's agile, because she can do all of those things. And it should feel right for you to do it on the sticks, and it should feel cool for you to look at it when you're playing it.
A drivable bike section would be pretty cool. Like the bit after you get held at gunpoint and basically robbed by Natla and her cronies. You should be able to have that as a level, rather than it just being a cutscene. Just have that where you can just get on the bike, you can do the chase, you can then do the dive, you can then sneak aboard her boat, and then the last chapter plays out.
Lara had a physicality, acrobatics, and at least for those of us who were pretty good at the game, we spent quite a bit of time swan diving and doing the different acrobatic moves to look awesome.
You need to go back and you need to look. You need to look how those games were functioning. What was the essence of those to extract it and put it in the future?
This character and this franchise that...
It's a dudes with beards working on this game.
It's more about adventure, action adventure, cinematic experience.
So she's moving like confidently with all this acrobatic, athletic style of...
It's like Prince Humperdinck from Princess Bride. If he was in the Legacy sequel where his marriage didn't quite work out and he's all depressed.
Climbing, jumping, etc.
And he's all disheveled. He's like, we have to get him back. We have to get back Prince Humperdinck.
I think that's what makes Lara Lara.
Is it Prince Humperdinck or was it Wesley?
Physicality is really important. So I still do a lot. Weight training, running, yoga, rock climbing. I freaking love rock climbing. That is my jam.
What makes climbing Lara's climbing, basically. And there is multiple super subtle things that makes it Lara Croft climbing, not someone else. It's through animations, it's through the dynamics of the animation, how fast she's jumping from one ledge to another.
Yeah, this is all just repeat footage from the demo. I was like, for God's sake, you just play more from the game that you've built.
How far will be her leap of faith? And all of that basically were the biggest issue for us. Because regular jump doesn't mean that it's a Lara Croft regular jump, right?
There's quite a few climbing features that we have. There's climbing on the poles, there's climbing on ledges, swinging around the horizontal poles. Obviously, we also have grapple.
Nailing Lara's movement, I think, is one of the most important things to get right when you're making a Tomb Raider game.
Agreed.
Whenever you're playing a game, if a character doesn't move the way that you expect them to move, you are likely going to get frustrated. Or if you're coming into a franchise that has several games establishing what that character should feel like, you have to get that right. Getting that to, one, feel good on the sticks was really important, but also making sure that it was tied to gameplay.
When we released the trailer, there is like one specific sequence of moves where she's jumping from a horizontal pole to a ledge, and then she does a handstand, and then there's swan dive. And people were all like screaming at this.
Yeah, no, I agree with Apollo. It's like, even if if it was just the camera circulating around her, it would have been better than just repeating the same B-roll footage. Yeah, I agree. Just like have her plonked in a place and just have the camera spinning. Do you know what I mean? Just to show off more of the environments that you're so excited to want to tell us about, you know, just have us show it.
For me, visual language is how we guide the player throughout the levels, through color, through a lot of composition in environments, and try to subconsciously guide them to the places. We have bears that if you're getting close to them, they're flying away, and something moves. It catches automatically player's eye, so we have a lot of them in the background. We brought back Charlie.
It's the legend that there's a fish that guides player
The fish try to swim towards the places that you're
What the fuck is this? I don't know. Who the heck is Charlie?
supposed to go. We have a bunch of those really nice touches that we're trying to use throughout the game.
Yeah, what's with this guy's hair? I agree, Gecko Kid. It's like he woke up. Makeup was just like, it's fine. It kind of looks like a Polish Jin Kazama.
You need to know that there is something behind you, and so you should.
What's this Charlie fish?
It's the legend that there's a fish.
There's a fish, chat. And that's from Anniversary. I can tell by the shotgun.
That guides player.
I never paid attention enough to actually see if that's a thing. Is that a thing? Is that a thing?
The fish try to swim towards the places that you're supposed to go. We have a bunch of those really
Charlie's
nice
the name of a
touches that
fish
we try-
in Anniversary City of Vilcabamba. Okay. In Anniversary, Steve, there's a fish that guides you into the water. Okay.
trying to use throughout the game.
First
You
I
need to know
fucking
that
seen.
there is something behind you, and so you should do like head turn. That's very subtle, and most people don't realize it. For this, we added a part where if you stopped for like half a second, she would turn her body around to the target and look at it. If you are swinging on a grapple and there's something, she would reach.
And one of the things that it's very unique about Lara, even from like the original game, is she doesn't jump or like sidesteps. She cartwheels. She does a lot of acrobatic moves that are unique to who she is as a person, that says a lot about her story, that says a lot about who she is.
We have all of the adventures through the unknown ruins of some ancient civilizations. We're fighting with some wild beasts that reside in there.
Pardon me.
But also, you can spend 20 minutes doing, handstands and acrobatics and picking which outfit to choose before you come back to searching for various collectibles and treasures. Or at least you have the freedom to do so, right? The combination of all of it, it has all of the ingredients that the series, lives on.
When the path really isn't clear, what's your next move? Find out in Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis.
No, I will do when the game releases. Thank you, Alex. I really love moist towelettes. Why is this one in 1080p and the rest are in 4K? Boo. Boo. There's a reason to make another 1-hour documentary, The Fish. If I'd known about Charlie the Fish, I could have, of course, created a running gag about being attacked by a fish. Kind of like the running gag of Richard Croft that I have. But fish-based. I had no clue. I had no clue that was a thing. Some fish is just there that has been nicknamed by the community. It's a bit like the crab. Like, is it Fifi the crab that was in Tomb Raider 2013?
How calm this game can be. I just love going through the levels
Combat and
taking
progression.
in the surroundings, immersing myself in those worlds. But at the same time, when combat starts, it changes up dramatically. And when it's on, it's really on.
I would describe this version of Lara as sexy, self-possessed, strong, adventurous, astounding, amazing, fierce, fiery, fabulous, and really, really fit. She's in great physical shape.
As a player, the combat should feel agile.
Slightly more
and should
combat
feel
gameplay, that's different.
dangerous.
One of our main gameplay changes to Legacy of Atlantis is we're introducing a system called Focus. The idea behind it is when you're doing actions in combat, so when you're taking damage, when you're dealing damage, when you're dodging attacks, you are building your focus meter. Focus allows you to slow down time around you.
So it's the adrenaline dodge, but with a bar, sort of.
And showcase some of the things that Lara used to do in 1996. The acrobatic component of Lara Croft is really important for the character, so we wanted to make sure that there was a way on the sticks for that to be celebrated.
On the sticks. That's such a weird term for me to hear, and it's the first I know, like, these are analog sticks, right? But, like, some people calling it's the first I'm hearing someone call the controller the sticks, because they're more than the sticks. Or is he just actually being odd, like really specific, like on the analog sticks?
As a hardcore Tomb Raider fan, I want to dual pistols. So coming back to this game, I think like one of the biggest things that we wanted to make sure we got it right is like the pistols have to feel right. All weapons need to feel right. Combat needs to feel right. But if the pistols don't feel right, we are missing like a big part of what makes Lara Lara.
Do you know what? I'm glad that he recognizes that and has said that, because you guys have been missing a big part of what makes Lara Lara since 2013, and we have waited too long for such a simple thing to come back. We've waited too long, and we are still waiting. Please, just let us play it.
This is the most iconic weapon for the Lara, and it brings great feeling.
Okay, the combat looks new. Also, her braid looks like it's still quite short.
Of shooting two of pistols at the same time.
Those are also your most iconic weapons.
56 on YouTube. Hey, people. Hello.
We kind of say that this is your workhorse weapon, yeah, because they shoot fast, they look cool, you will use them in most encounters, they're the baseline.
I love dual pistol because this is an iconic weapon for this game.
I would just stick with them to the end of the game. My favorite.
So basically, we want to create the explosive mix in our game, like from acrobatics, slow motion, and like akimbo shooting. So
we have 4 weapons in the game, and each weapon is focused on different playstyle.
Did he say 4 weapons? So that, if that's the case, means that we're going to get all the original lineup. So pistols, magnums, Uzis, and shotgun. Unless they do away with the magnums completely and just give us an assault rifle or something. What do you reckon?
Different distance from the enemies.
the shorter distance, it's shotgun, 10 meters, let's say. 15 meters, it's SMGs. Assault rifle, maybe 25.
Assault rifle, okay. Interesting. So they're going to go dual pistols, SMGs, shotgun, and a rifle this time around.
Encounters in the fight have to be, first of all, fair. There's cannot be anything hidden. An incoming attack has to be clearly telegraphed or anticipated by enemy.
Over time, players will be able to learn about those enemies, anticipate what happens as they can read through those patterns. They will be able to counter them well. That will make them a true survivalist that can combat whatever is thrown at them.
When I played the Survivor series and I could suddenly affect and increase Lara's power in the game, I felt much more engaged. We have not only a skill tree, but
not gonna lie, chat, I already knew about this, and I'll give him a second to talk.
We also have herb collection, and then you can brew those into foods that give you buffs, like reduce damage, but also into healing.
As you were
right, so I think it, as much as I think everyone would have wanted skill trees to just be gone, I think it would have been a bit naive of us to think that they weren't going to include something like that in this game, to kind of like signify progression a bit more than just being an unlockable outfit or something. But I'm kind of hoping that all of this stuff can just be ignored for players who want to ignore the skill trees. Like, for example, this whole graceful fall thing here. Hands-on experience with firearms has sharpened your ability to optimize their efficiency and output, increases firing rate of all weapons by 10%. Like, cool, I guess, to get a little bonus, but I don't want the game to completely feel like it's... I don't know, man. To me, Lara Croft should be a character that's already capable, right? Like Nathan Drake, like Indiana Jones, like they should all be like capable of just going through and just doing what they want to do. And skill trees have the risk of it kind of feeling like like you need, like they're too much of an essential thing to have, rather than it being just a nice little bonus. If the skill trees and these perks end up being just a nice little bonus, fine. Because if that means then we still have the tools of vanilla Lara, I guess, in her original moveset to be able to still complete the game and have all the tools that we need to do it. I don't want things like the swan dive to be locked behind a skill. I don't want the handstand vault to be locked behind a skill. As long as all the moves that we have to be able to get the job done and then some are still there, that's great. I don't want, like, a nightmare scenario for me for this game would be something along the lines of what Shadow of the Tomb Raider did for its skill tree, where it was just a complete and utter mess of stuff that was just fluff. Just fluff for me. And it kind of just, like, it didn't incentivize me to want to use my skill points to just do what I needed to do, because I could just do it. Like, there was that one that we, anyone who might have watched me play through Shadow of the Tomb Raider for the first time, anyone who needs to catch up, my playlists are in my channel, and you can check out that whole video series. But essentially, there was a perk called that made it so that when you were trying to pull off headshots with a particular gun, it would make it easier. And I'm thinking to myself, shouldn't headshots just be a challenge and then that's it, rather than it being just something that you get help with? Like, the whole point of being able to land a headshot in a game that's got guns, that's got projectile-based weaponry in it, is that it takes a bit of skill to be able to do it. So having perks where you can essentially have, like, the game highlight the head for you and, like, highlight stuff in the environment for you to be able to pick up on the fly or whatever, it's just like, I don't need it. I don't think Tomb Raider needs it. And I'm hoping that, like, that sort of stuff isn't in this. I'm hoping that it's just things like, I don't know, just going by the logos here, you've got stuff for however the fuck the cooking's going to turn out. Have no idea, because that's a completely new fabrication for this. So you can basically barbecue your own health kits. But I'm hoping stuff like this isn't going to be like headshots are easier because you get to fucking have a survivor vision thing to point them out from a mile away. I can see stuff like reload times are probably going to be quicker with pistols with this one. Plus ammo per clip for the SMGs. More power for the shotgun, perhaps. This one here, I'm predicting with the acrobatics and the medic symbols is going to be something like acrobatic dodges give you back health, like a small bit of health. No idea what this is. No idea what that is. I don't know. This looks like someone sticking a straw into an orange for me. But do you know what I mean? What does everyone else feel? Yeah, that's right, Sev. She's already the Tomb Raider, and what's more to grow? She's already at her peak. But again, like, it would be foolish of us to not expect anything like this, because that's what modern games apparently need to have, is a fucking skill tree system in everything, even when it might not necessarily make sense. But again, the game's not out. I will reserve full judgment until I get my hands on the game and play it for myself. But my initial reaction is a little bit I'm kind of hoping that it's not too invasive. And also these tabs at the top here, hoping like the outfits tab is stuff that you can get from like collecting artifacts, because these skill points that you get are from collecting artifacts that are all over the place. So we shall see. But it's a mixed reception. This was the first, I think, time that I've seen stuff to do with this game that I was genuinely like a little bit like, oh God, are they going to put some bollocks into this? I'm sure it will be fine though. But I would hate to be proven wrong.
Like reduced damage, but also into healing.
As you were exploring these different environments, you were getting resources. You can combine those resources to make bandages, to make things that will either make you stronger, make you take less damage, do more damage, or just heal whenever you're in peril.
If you want to, you can use 2 pistols throughout the entire game, yes?
And that's great. So for anyone who wants to do a challenge run, like the original games are like absolutely famous for, go nuts.
It will be challenging and probably it's gonna take you more time. But if you want to, yep, you can. You can use just 2 pistols.
If you decide that you want to play with dual pistols the entire way and be iconic, absolutely.
You will
Cool, thank you for reiterating that, Grandpa Joe.
have to deal with a lot on your journey.
Hang on. Oh my god, sorry, that freeze frame on her face is unfortunate. Hang on. Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear. Let me just get Photoshop up there. That's unfortunate. Sorry. I'm just gonna put that little snippet into Photoshop. Might be a new emoji for the channel. You never know. Come on. Load for me. Load.
But Lara Croft is a capable adventurer, so I'm sure over time you will be able to deal with it.
What makes an adventure feel truly immersive to you? Experience it in Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. Pre-order now.
Heads up, by the way, for anyone going to London Comic Con, Alex is going to be actually there. So yeah, might have some lucky people in this chat right now who will have a chance to meet her. Yeah, here we go. New file. Clipboard. Create. I don't get why my computer's being particularly slow, but yes. What does everyone think? What is everyone's thoughts? Yeah, there we go. That's that was an unfortunate freeze frame, but I love it. I kind of want that on like a sticker or something. She's just like, it's like what I've got in the Discord. Hang on, let's see if I could just bring up what's in the Discord. Also, hello, chat. I've got a little sticker. If you're a member of the Discord, also, hey, I have got a little sticker that I don't know how well you can see that, but I can't think I can make it bigger. But yeah, go check out the stickers. It's the whole totally raided thing. And I made that from an equally bad freeze frame from Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But yeah, what's everyone's thoughts? Let me just put some music back on. I want to get some kind of reactions from people in the chat about this. Oh, Moonspirit, thank you for the clip. Does she need another Starbucks? She needs several Starbucks. She looks like she needs all the Starbucks. All the Starbucks in the world. What's my thoughts on the Netflix Tomb Raider cartoon? It's fine for what it is. I thought the second season was a bit better than the first. Story a bit better than the first, but towards the end of the second season, they kind of forget that Lara Croft was meant to be the main character of her own show. So there is that problem, but yeah, it's a step in the right direction. I thought Hayley Atwell's voice, vocal performance was great. I'm kind of surprised they didn't stick with her for the games, but Alex is going to do a phenomenal job anyway, so that's absolutely fine by me. My reaction to the skill tree. That could be it, couldn't it? There's also an article that expands a little bit on what was said in this episode on the Tomb Raider blog. Ooh, okay. Maybe I can try and find that. Where would one find this? Let's have a look.
Hello, you.
Learn more at playtombRaider.com. Sorry, I'm just going to put my face up so you don't have to see me Googling shit. So, is it on news? Combat Reimagined. Okay, fine. Let me just put a pause on that. So we do have a website with a blog to go through, so let's have a little dive into that. And actually, at the same time, I can probably put myself back down here, can't I? And then put my hand down, flip it and reverse it. Which I found out, by the way, that Missy Elliott song where she says the gibberish. That's Fang down, flip it, and reverse it, but in reverse. For years, I did not know that. And then I saw a random thing on Instagram where someone was like, did you know? And I listened and I was like, holy shit, that's actually what it is. It's just the previous verse, but reversed. Because she told us that she was going to put her thing down, flip it, and reverse it, and she reversed it. I digress. Here we go. So this is about the combat that we've just seen in here. Combat in motion. It's all about using Lara's acrobatic skills to move through the combat arenas, dodge enemy attacks whilst firing back at them, says Raoul, game director at Crystal. This isn't a cover shooter. Wow. Okay, so yeah, this isn't your millennials Tomb Raider. Even though I'm an elder millennial. It's not like your dad's Tomb Raider. This is more like your dad's Tomb Raider than it is Tomb Raider 2013, where it was a cover shooter. We don't want players to stop and wait for the opportunity to attack. We want them to take the initiative and show enemies why no one can do what Lara can. Great. Great. Thumbs up. Jason Epps, design director at Crystal, frames it in terms of what today's players expect. Legacy of Atlantis is built as a modern third-person shooter. While combat in original games was simple and effective for its time, today's players can expect more depth and responsiveness. I mean, compared to the tank controls, yeah, sure. In the responsiveness department, we've modernized the system with features like aim assist and target snapping, which is great for controller players. All whilst ensuring animal predators and new human enemies? Well, we thought that because of the trailer and the Natla Technologies badge on the side of the not Trinity soldiers. Are varied, challenging, and satisfying to fight. Acrobatics as weapons. That depth starts with the way Lara moves. The heart of the system is her acrobatics, and the key that unlocks them in combat is focus mode. We always knew from very early on that we wanted acrobatics to play a large part in combat. While initially it presented a challenge, given how acrobatics adds flourish to an animation at the expense of increasing its length, there was an opportunity where the focus with the focus mode. So by having an acrobatic move trigger when we enter focus mode, we can accomplish two things: give players an advantage in combat and celebrate Lara's personality in a way that's wholly her own. So by the sounds of things, we're not going to be able to pull our guns out and just start flipping about all the time. It's essentially they've kind of put the acrobatics a little bit on a lead, but they've kind of made it in a way where they're potentially making it more rewarding to pull off, because it's something that you have to basically spend focus meter juice in order to be able to pull these moves off to get an advantage. So I can understand where they're going with this. It'd be interesting to see how that actually plays out when the full game's out. When is one an elder millennial? Born before 1988? Well, me and Sarah are 87 babies, so yes, that would indeed make you qualify, good sir, or madame, or both. Epps describes how that plays out in the player's hands. The acrobatics button responds to context. In over-the-shoulder mode, players can dodge quickly in any direction whilst moving. While during movement, it helps Lara create distance and change direction fast. Acrobatics also builds focus. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm talking out my ass with this. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. In acrobatics, they also build focus with stronger rewards for dodging attacks, making them essential to the flow of combat. So, okay, I'm talking out my asshole because I assumed with the language they were using that it was just going to be acrobatics for focus mode, but apparently you can use acrobatics to build the focus mode. So they must be just stuff that you can do all the time. Okay. Jeff Adams, experienced director at Crystal, describes what they look like on screen. When facing a fierce predator, she'll pull out those iconic dual pistols and do everything that she can to inflict damage before the creature closes the distance. At the right moment, she'll launch herself into a graceful somersault, continuing to fire on the enemy, until she finally brings it down and creates a unique look and feel to our fierce fight sequences. And that's the sort of thing that we really want to see more of. Flying Wild Hog, please just show us more with different enemies in different stages. We want to see more. Please, just please let us at least play the demo you gave to people early on so we can experience this shit. That'd be great. Lara's arsenal. Lara's signature weapons carry real history. The only weapons that are truly Lara's are her dual pistols, Adam said. They were gifted to her by Conrad Roth. Hey, there we go. And they carry a piece of her family's history with them. Every other weapon she uses throughout the adventure is sourced from the world itself. Lara instinctively knows how to wield each one to the greatest effect. Which is cool because, like, they're keeping it so that these weapons are obtained similar to how they were in the original, which is basically, like, off of Pierre's corpse, or via a secret, or via an invisible floating platform, or via a skateboarding kid, among other things, or via a corpse that's at the top of the waterfall for the shotgun. No matter how the fight unfolds, she stays in motion. We want combat in Legacy of Atlantis to feel fluid. That means Lara recovers quickly from hits, gets back on her feet, and gets right back into the fight, whether she's quickly dodging an incoming attack or using her acrobatics to fling herself clear of a charging predator. Every movement is designed to feel responsive and just a little larger than life, which is what we've been crying out for fucking so long. For the combat to just feel like her again, rather than like a cover-based shooter, which I'm glad that they just said from the get-go, this isn't a cover-based shooter, which is great because we don't want it to fall into the same trappings as what the previous games have. We want it to have its own identity. She's become the Tomb Raider now. Let's just let her be the Tomb Raider. Please, thank you very much to my TED Talk. Enemies that think. No shit. I wouldn't want to fight a completely brainless foe. The biggest addition to combat is variety, and it starts with a new kind of foe, human mercenaries. Human mercenaries add a new dimension to combat cover, Epps says. Animal enemies are fun to fight, but they don't naturally support classic cover-based encounters. Mercenaries create more varied combat scenarios whilst also strengthening the fictional connection to Natla's faction. They also coordinate as a team, each role creating pressure in a different way. Assault rifle mercs pin down Lara, shotgun mercs close the distance, and snipers stay back to line up headshots. Snipers. So they are kind of incorporating the way that Shadow of the Tomb Raider handled like ambushes, seemingly. Maybe I spoke too soon about the cover combat. But I'm kind of hoping that in the next sentence it's going to be like, you move around the cover. You don't duck down and cling your back to a piece of like chest-high wall or something to hide from it. You're just constantly moving. Again, they made it quite clear they want everyone to be moving in this game and then moving around the cover to then keep the pressure on them. Sorry. I shouldn't have started eating this. Right. Sugar ingested. The animals are just as cunning. Leopards use hidey holes to attack from unexpected angles, whilst crocodiles can drag Lara into the water and drown her if players aren't careful. Quick time event, do you think? Epps says they adapt to the pack around them. When fighting animals in groups, like wolves or raptors, their behavior changes based on how many are left still alive. When in a group, you can see them circling around the player more and respecting each other's positions, while the last member standing of the pack will go into a berserk mode and become more aggressive and unpredictable. Fine. Completely expected. Each type asks something different of the player. While fighting animals, players are more focused on learning their attack patterns and dodging, and the human enemies ask players to be mindful of their position, moving around the arena to get outside of their range and taking opportunities to break line of sight, which is why I'm thinking that, like, they wouldn't just say this isn't a cover-based shooter, and then immediately, almost in a few sentences, like, double back on that and say, well, actually, I don't think that's the case. I think we're going to just basically just running and gunning, which I really, really, really hope is true. Again, I would hate to be proven wrong with that one. Whether she's facing a pack of raptors or a squad of Natla's mercenaries, the answer is always the same. Keep moving, stay sharp, and remind them of why no one does it like Lara Croft. So hopefully that should alleviate some concerns. It does slightly with me, but we shall again have to see it in action to make more of a judgment. And that's that. That's basically just the entire discussion there. That's everything that we've talked about so far. And I'm wondering now, like, what is everyone feeling? How, like, are we kind of, like, uneasy still about it? Or are we a bit more hype? Or are we a bit less hype? Like, where are sort of in the Venn diagram of, like, Tomb Raider and Lara Croft in this particular game? Where are we sitting, chat? I'll give you a moment to sort of think about that whilst I get some water. It's bloody hot in here. I am back. What's everyone feeling? Did she have mercenaries? Well, she technically did, but she didn't have like a mercenary hit squad. She just had mercs, like a rabble of all kinds of like shapes and sizes and creeds. She didn't have a team specifically. I mean, cover-based combat in the reboot games also made her go around due to Molotov cocktails or the cover being destroyed. Yeah, that's true. But I think also their emphasis on sort of her herself, like, moving around and constantly bringing the fight to them is kind of indication to me that they're not going to go that same route, necessarily. It wouldn't be in the spirit of the original if they did that. Let's just say that. That's what my gut's telling me, at least. You know who also have men with guns? The lovely silk shirt man from Legend. Yes, Rutland and his lovely silk shirt. Yes. Yes, he did, didn't he? Like I said, I'm excited. I personally have no big issues so far. That's cool. Still optimistic because of the dual pistols and acrobatics from the classic and Legend era games being back. Yeah, that's the kind of where I am. I'm still optimistic. The skill tree stuff, though, that's where I started to wave a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see. Less hyped. My baby anniversary was always enough for me. That's fair. That's fair. Sounds refreshing after the Survivor trilogy, and it sounds like a slight return to LoL classic combat. Yes. Yes, it does, and I'm really excited to see more of it. Uncharted, hello, mate. Tomb Raider is the game I want to play. Good for you. I want to play it too. Loved adding except the final wall jump level. What, you mean the fucking center corridor, the center column with the swinging? It would make sense that Natla has mercs instead of 4 goofy henchmen. I'm hoping that she also has them. You know, she's also hired Pierre. She's also hired like Larson and whoever the heck they're going to bring for like the final part to replace the skateboard kid, the knife guy or shotgun dude, or the cowboy. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Still excited. More positives going for this release than negatives. I'm just happy to get it. Refreshed experience. Oh no, happy to get a refreshed experience that is a celebration of in a new modern package. Yeah. That's essentially what this is. This is a modern celebration of an old game, and you can expect it to have some extra bells and whistles. Are we making memes now? After the 5th pint at Derby. Oh dear. Do you think we'll get an extra level in the nanotechnologies building, espionage style? That would be cool. That would be cool. I don't know whether or not they would. I don't know. It would be awesome to have that bit playable, but I kind of want Croft Manor to be playable over that, if there was a choice. Like, I really want Croft Manor to be back as like a playable tutorial level or its own level in and of itself. Please bring that back. That'd be amazing. I don't know how they'll go forward after getting this game finished. Are they going to remake Tomb Raider 2 or Legends to continue the Atlantis Underworld story? I don't see them continuing to remake any more classic games. I think because this one is the most iconic in a lot of ways to a lot of average people, they will just leave it at that. And then they got Catalyst and then whoever the fuck. I would like them to remaster the Legend era games. That would be great. Legend Underworld Anniversary. A modern port / remaster would be grand. But we will have to see. We will have to see. Giving it a cautious 7 out of 10 for now, with room for more. I don't want to have too many expectations and be disappointed. Right, and that's a very healthy attitude. Like, go in with as little expectations as possible, and you hopefully won't be disappointed. There has to be a Croft Manor, like, non-negotiable in my opinion. Like, if it was me and it was up to me, yes, it would be definitely happening, and I would confirm that for sure. I hope they remake 2 deserved an anniversary remake last time. That's what I was disappointed to see. I was disappointed to see that they weren't going to do anymore. Like, Nico Bass, bless his heart, like, he did some amazing work to do the Dagger of Sham remake as best as he could, even though it wasn't the whole game. But it's still impressive stuff, but that was like the closest I think we're ever going to get to that type of remake for that game. The ring menus, I think, is gone. If anything, I think that skill tree menu is the pause menu, which is a shame. I do like the radial menu. I really do think it has a lot of character to it. Such a simple thing, but it brings out like a lot of personality. I think the next game will depend on if Legacy or Catalyst will be successful. If it's Legacy, they'll go down the RE path and do remakes. If it's Catalyst, they'll get more originals. I kind of hope that we've got room to have both. I kind of want both games to be successful, not going to lie. And I want there to be, like... I want them to have enough to be able to sort of justify more. And yeah, more remakes because of Legacy success would be amazing. Like a Dagger of Shan remake would be great. Lost City of Tin, like the Meteorite saga with 3 would be great. Angel of Darkness would be great, you know? But it all depends. If the demand's there, if the budget's there, like, if there's enough interest because of sales, then go for it. That's all it comes to, unfortunately, at the end of the day. But yes, we are going to put a pause on that now, and we are going to kick things off with some more Croc to round off the rest of the evening. Got about an hour left of gameplay, so I figured what better thing to pick back up than what we started playing a few weeks ago. Oh shit, have I just turned on my... I think I've just turned on Sarah's PlayStation. Hang on. It's because I plugged in this old controller here. And we were playing Streets of Rage 4 together. We're going through the survival mode together. We often do that. It's quite fun. I need to repair this thing with the Bluetooth in my PC. 2 seconds. All you're seeing is my lovely face at the moment. Sorry. There we go. Right, okay, cool. Cool beans, jeans. Let's crack open some Croft. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. Oh, I know why the sound's not working. Because it's done that old thing where... There we go. Titanium! And they announced a Croc 2 remaster recently, which was great. And it was really impeccable timing on my part, accidentally, of course. But we started doing this series, and then literally we were talking about it on stream about like how they've not bothered to remaster the second game yet. And it would be amazing if they did. And then literally the day after, it got announced for Croc 2, so there we go. Gotta try and remember the fucking controls now. Oh, we're in Mexico. Yeah, that's where we are. Horrible sound. Why does everyone need a skill tree? Is it not enough skill tree? You actually get to use the mechanics and getting better at putting them off. Yeah, the whole kind of like having a skill tree just to be kind of like a cheap dopamine hit. It's just kind of like I don't really care for it. Like some games it suits really well. I just don't think like, especially like Tomb Raider doesn't need a skill tree system to be good. Oh, bollocks. I've got the keys. I wonder who will be the bad guy in the TV show. Yeah, I have no idea about that at all. Also, it depends on the TV show being successful. Yeah, you're talking about the Sophie Turner one, right? Yeah, I have no clue about that show at all. All I know is that she put her back out and they had to pause production for a bit. And that's all we've found out through the media so far. That and some set leaks. Fan used to go on. Oh, jelly. I don't mind who the villain is in the next Tomb Raider game as long as it's not Trinity. Yeah, I think Trinity's done. And if I'm honest, like, the way Trinity was built up and kind of ended in Shadow was really, really, really lame. On retrospect, like, Trinity was kind of like built up to be this major mega antagonist, and it was just ended up being a bit of a fart. It's just like, oh, it's just Dominguez, but not really, but actually yes, and because of what happened in Shadow, they don't exist anymore, and it's like, okay. Yeah, cool, bro, cool. Hey, excuse you. Why does Croc sound like Mario in Bowser Castle? Where we play Yoshi. Well, I don't know if you know the original story about how Croc originally came to be, but you're not too far off with the whole Yoshi comment. I'll say that. Massive conglomerate world-altering organization defeated by Lara, E-Shell, and a horde of cannibals. Are they meant to be cannibals, or... I don't know if it's implied. They kind of look like your stereotypical cannibal. Tribal people, tribal race, but... I'm not too sure if that was ever explicitly stated out loud or not. Shit. I lost all my lives. You're not aware about the lore of Croc? Well, the lore of Croc was essentially... I'll just quickly go over it. It originally started off as a pitch by Argonaut Studios to make a Yoshi platforming game, and when that didn't go through, they ended up diverting into creating Croc, which is the game you see today. Oh, and also the head of Argonaut Studios married Shigeru Miyamoto's daughter. So there's that. Oh. What's that pit? Is that something that I can step in, or is that just a hazard? I'll try it. That was a mistake. Do not step in the green soup. Green soup is angry. It will bite you. It's a bit fiddly. Turns out Natla is the real leader of Trinity. I'm just waiting for them to fucking do that, and I'm gonna be like, no, you did not earn that. You did not earn that. Just leave Trinity alone. Just have the Triumvirate be its own separate thing. All the Atlantis stuff be separate, please. It doesn't have to be tied to everything that's happened in Lara's previous outings. Natla doesn't have to have a... Wait, Natla just doesn't have a reason to lead a Christian cult. Yeah, that's very true. It's very much not within her wheelhouse to do that. It's very true. Very good point. I just think it'd be terrible writing if they did that. I think it would just be such a cheap cop-out. It wouldn't feel earned. It would just feel like forced pandering. Like, hey! Just, hey guys, you know, you like Natla. Well, we're gonna put some, like, we're gonna just make it so that she's just the only bad guy that's worth paying attention to in all of Tomb Raider. You know? Cool, I guess, but can we just have something different? Like a villain of the week, you know? Want more Dr. Willards, more Sophia Lees, no, more like Marco Bartoli's, you know, more stuff like that. I don't like the fact that the balloons drop you on the first grab. That's not good. Doesn't make me feel safe at all. Natla will return in Avengers Doomsday. More Amanda. Yeah, just bring back characters that are like fan favorites in smart ways. Curtis Trent needs to come back. In some capacity. You know? It's cool stuff. That makes sense. I know people like mega fans of AOD like Tyranitar would sort of like cry foul at them like reusing Curtis Trent again, but I think it would be silly of them not to, in some way. But again, it all depends on how well they do it. A Gundanator, yes, exactly. Come with me if you want the paintings, Master Eckhart. Need your clothes, your boots, and your obscure paintings. Terrible Arnie voice, I know. What killed the Nephilim? The Ice Age! What is up there? Now, a solitary gem on its own normally means... Normally means that it's a colored gem in disguise. And it was. There we go. Oh, of course I think of you with Angel of Darkness. You're basically just the human lexicon of that game. Outside of Murty, you know. I just remember the stream you did for the anniversary where you had like a full-on laminate... Was it laminated? I don't know if it was laminated, but you had a full-on binder of information and lore behind it. It was so fun to watch you talk about it. It was great. To be fair, Seth's still chilling. Seth's still chilling in an under pyramid room with his swimming pool. Yeah, we moved him to a bigger house with a swimming pool. That's the lore of The Last Revelation, chat. It's the official lore. You know, Seth just wanted to move into a bigger house. The way he went about it was a bit weird. But, hang on, I mean, he could have just asked, but, just wanted some help moving the furniture. We would have only needed to have asked, and we would have been more than happy to have obliged. Was, in my opinion, bastard. What's my opinion the most interesting character in the Tomb Raider series, especially the classic ones? I mean, other than Lara herself, I don't know. Von Croy, I guess. Really? Because he's got the most kind of like personal history with her. Amanda's cool, I guess. But not the most interesting to me. Winston. Why not? Why not? I want to know more about French Shatner. French William Shatner, Jean-Yves. Like, when did he become such a camp little bitch? When did he become so fucking bougie with his carafes of wine and fucking solitary desert apartment? One life, and that is it. I don't have to do all this again. Was surprised that Von Croy wasn't in the 2013 reboot, but that's the thing. It's a reboot, so of course they're not going to include characters that they're already established. The only ones that they do are the ones that are like a mummy and daddy, and that's it. They will just have carte blanche to just write their own characters and start again from fresh. That's what they did. No Von Croy, no teenage outings with her and her pigtails and horrific face. No Von Croy getting his legs trapped and having to stay there hanging for the rest of eternity, harboring a grudge against a teenager that could have had no chance in hell to save him whatsoever. How does Von Croy fit in next to Roth? Well, that's the thing. I mean, she could have multiple mentors. That's not outside the realms of plausibility in any way, but at one point, you just need to have a mentor for a character. And just like, maybe further on down the line, re-establish or retcon that she might have had one when she was sent out by her parents growing up to do something with her life. Oh no, she would have been by herself because when she was still a kid, that's when Daddy Dearest popped his clogs. And she was just by herself. So who the fuck would... Yeah, how does that work? Because it wasn't it Von Croy was introduced to her via her parents or something? Or are they going to retcon it so it's like her aunt and uncle? Atlas de Mornay thought it'd be good for the kids, for the young Lara to dip her toes into the side of her family's life that wasn't so filled with tragedy. So they hired a German man, with a Canadian man with a horrendous German accent to take her around Angkor Wat and show her the ways. I could just see that being a thing. I don't like discovering the plot holes, chat. Oh, actually, no, that's a lie. I do kind of. But I don't want to, but it's just... Oh, for fuck's sake, that's... That's really cruel. I barely let go of forward, and it already put me on the path to run off the fucking ledge. I guess we're doing this again, then. Yay! But it's just like the whole unification timeline shenanigans stuff that they're kind of written themselves into a little bit of a convoluted corner with a lot of the lore that they're gonna have to sort of re-explain. And again, like, they've started to connect the dots, like Catalyst's events are gonna take, like, they've been stated to take place after Underworld's event, which in and of itself has its own continuity problems. But yeah, I think it should be a series where you shouldn't pay too much attention to the story, but the problem... Oh, hello. The problem with that is that it used to be a series where the story didn't matter and you didn't take it seriously. But then they made it so it mattered and you had to take the story seriously. And that's why now it's a problem. All these stories were written with it being just like a fairly loose kind of concept and feel to it, with maybe like the legend, like, it's not really a trilogy, really, is it? Because, well, no, I guess Anniversary is like the first thing that introduced Natla to the whole shebang, but it's just like, it's essentially just 2 games, really, that matter. Like, Anniversary was just a thing that you, for old school Tomb Raider fans like me, to sort of sink their teeth into a newer, shinier version of. But the actual important parts of the story were all in Legend and all in Underworld. Anniversary was just a bonus. And then, like, the Survivor trilogy came along and was basically just like, okay, so we're going to do the first one as a retelling of how she became the Tomb Raider. Fine. Game sells like absolute gangbusters. Oh shit, what do we do? Okay, we'll make another one. Are we going to have it so that the ending scene in the last game pays off? Not really, because we're going to have it so she's still mentally not able to get over the events of Yamatai in the previous game, and she's going to continue on as she was before. Okay, right, we'll see how this plays out. Okay, Rise of the Tomb Raider happens, and they're just like, okay, right, she's now the Tomb Raider. Right? We're saying this to Crystal, and they were like, actually not really. What might actually end up being the case is the next game is where she actually finally becomes the Tomb Raider. Because it was all part of a planned trilogy, which it wasn't really. But we're all going to say that it's part of a planned trilogy, and for it to all be a part of some grander scheme, and all some big grander narrative, when in reality, it was the third game that they had to, in some way, shape, or form, make it all loosely tie in to connect it all into whatever grandiose fucking stuff they were setting up in the previous games, and the payoff, in my opinion, wasn't 100% earned. There were some parts that were good, some parts that were very good, and there were some other parts that were just a little bit lame. But now, finally, we've gotten over this, like, becoming the Tomb Raider shit. She can become the Tomb Raider now in this next game, and there are no excuses anymore and no things to get in the way to stop her from becoming the Tomb Raider. She should be and is the Tomb Raider now. But it took them 7 years to wrestle with the fact that they needed to make her the Tomb Raider. 7 years of collaborations, 7 years of cameos, 7 years of radio silence, 7 years of people basically just like, not really panicking, but just like, majorly going over and rethinking and redesigning and rethinking their approach to where they were going to take the character next, because in a lot of ways the last game was received well, it sold really well, but at the same time I think the community was a little bit sick of like this stagnation of where the character was. It was kind of like she was going through these adventures, and we were promised something almost at the end of this, and it wasn't and hasn't been paid off because there's still more to be... some more lessons to be learnt, and she needs to grow more in order for her to become the character that she needs to be, that we all know that she is, and it's only now that we're actually finally seeing some kind of a semblance of that idea. And I don't know how, or whether or not this stuff to do with Embracer has forced their hand in order for them to actually do something about it. And like sort of like bite the bullet and actually commit and give people who have been long-time fans of the series like what they've been wanting for a while. But I'm glad that it at least seems to have set the series on a more positive path. It has taken a while, it's taken a lot of like sitting around and getting a bit apathetic about all the fucking spin-offs, cameos, Call of Duty skins, fucking Fortnite skins, World of Tanks collaborations, Fall Guys collaborations, among other things, for us to get to a point where we're like, okay, she's actually got games coming out. We've had remasters of like 6 games which are absolute classics to the community. Let's now see what we can do for the future, and I'm hoping to God that the future is going to be brighter, not just a retreading of old fucking habits. And relax. That was a long rant, I do apologize. And hopefully it was just coherent and wasn't how I imagined in my head. And what I imagined in my head was just a rambling mess of thoughts and feelings. How does everyone else think? Let me know, please. Blah. Ghost Recon Breakpoint cameo. Yeah, that was another one. Brawlhalla. Remember Brawlhalla? That small little indie thing? Oh, the one that really didn't make sense to me was that fucking clickbait game that you see all the time in advertisements, where it was like Hero Wars or something like that, where she cameos in that. Like, who was on the deal panel for that to happen? Like, who was looking at that particular game and thought, do you know what this needs? We need to send our highest IP to collaborate with this particular game that's like, that just looks like visualized malware. It looked fucking awful, and it's not a game that I don't think many like fans of the series would play, in all honesty. But no, we're gonna shoehorn in that too. Just mate, that was the weirdest one for like World of Tanks. I can take or leave. It's kind of funny to have like a Lara Croft themed tank. Fine, whatever. But like Hero Wars to me was just like, it was Hero Wars, wasn't it? Like the one with the dude who like goes up to the other chick with like the hot chick with all the numbers above her head, and then she sends him down to this dungeon, and then he has to fight a whole bunch of skeletons. That sort of fucking AI generated looking stupid nonsense. How Lara Croft got her groove back. Okay, here we go. Oh, we got ghosts. It's ghost time. Full disclosure though, for the Fall Guys one, I actually got paid by Crystal to do some art for it, which was pretty cool. I say art, Photoshop together a poster for their social media. And some of my designs that got rejected, I've actually put on my Instagram account so you can have a look. There was one in particular that I was pretty pleased with. A couple actually, no, 3 of them I was pretty pleased with, but I couldn't use them. They had weird stipulations, like it couldn't be based on a real-life location. Was it 2 of them that they used? I think they used the one where it was the bean statue in front of Croft Manor, and the other one was the beans on toast design. The ones they didn't use were the one where she's taking the crown from Buckingham Palace, where I snuck the Mona Pisa in the background. And another one was a one where her and Underworld Lara are stood out looking at this like really cool looking set of ruins, like from the concept art from Underworld. That was quite fun. Yeah, check it out on my Insta. That collab screamed desperate for money. Yeah, and as much as I didn't want to hate on the Call of Duty one as well, the Call of Duty one, it was great for bringing back Keely Hawes with some voice lines and stuff, which you can listen to in their entirety on YouTube, by the way. But like, her design was weird. It was like a really weird face on her character model, like really weird. Leap of faith. It's alright, I knew what I was doing there. I saw that platform. Oh, I got an achievement for it. Extra life. To be fair, the collabs reminded me a lot of the 90s where Lara was everywhere with the constant marketing and brand deals. And that's cool. Like, I get that part of it. Like, some of it was quite fun. I think the problem really was, like, we'd heard nothing from the series for, like, so long. And it was just getting a bit, like, are you listening? Like, hello, butthead. Like, are you listening to, like, people who want more Lara Croft? Are you doing anything? What's happened to the series? And we were getting nothing for like so long, and I think that's where fatigue was starting to set in. Hope Legacy of Atlantis gets another Lucozade promo deal. That would be pretty cool. I know in the Derby Museum, from the pictures that I was seeing, that there is a few original Larazade bottles that someone was able to recover. That's pretty cool. The only ones I've got are the ones for the latest one that they did for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. All the different flavored bottles, including the Croft Apple flavor, which is the green bottled Lucozade. So that's the closest I'm going to get to having, like, the 90s Larazade. Another thing I'd like to see if they've got, actually, is, does anyone from, like, back in the day who played the original games, like, remember the clothing line that they were advertising in the game manuals? Like, it was like a copyright, it was Lara and then a copyright C, like as in like the copyright logo, but it was for Croft. And then a whole bunch of like cool designed like tops, hoodies, and CD wallets and other things under that brand. I don't know any single person that's like gotten or has ever bought that particular line of merchandise. You have the manual, the clothing lines too? Yeah, that's like, if you look at I think it's like the Tomb Raider 3 manual. In fact, let's fucking look at it now. I have them. Yeah, Yes, so in Tomb Raider 3, you also got this Lara C merchandising booklet, and they had like things like messenger bags, they had watches, they had a statue. Oh, hello. They had like a statuette type situation. They had beach towels going on there. Again, sorry for the exposure by the lighting. But they had t-shirts and stuff as well. Men's bathrobe shirt, but it was literally just all they were was just these like very early 2000s looking like sets of clothings with like a giant C in a grey square on a white t-shirt or a beanie hat and a black hoodie or a black top or something. But I have never ever seen anyone from the fan community or a picture, anyone have any of these for sale or wears them or nothing. It just seems to have just been stuff that just never existed. So yeah, sound off in the comments if you know of anything, because that'd be an interesting thing to track down. The closest I've ever gotten to seeing any of that merch in person was when I spoke with Adrian Smith, and he had a whole bunch of CDs and DVDs in a Lara Croft C merchandise themed wallet, CD wallet. That's like the only thing I've ever seen from that brand. But anything else, it just seems like it's vaporware. Do you know what I mean? I would love that flight jacket you can get from Insert Coins. So would I. I can't afford it. I've got enough jackets. I've got the Shenmue jacket. I've got a Silent Hill 2 jacket I made myself. Oh, hang on. Is it one of those ones where I press the button and then platforms appear? I've got, yeah, my Shenmue jacket, and I've also got a bunch of other smart jackets that I wear to places. So I do not have the space, unfortunately. Yeah, there we go. That's it. That's what I thought. You got one of their FF14 jackets? Nice. Coincidentally, the Shenmue jacket that you actually see, the brown jacket that you see me wear in videos, that's actually from Insert Coin Clothing. because they originally released a version of the jacket which wasn't as good. The material was this like faux leather, but it wasn't. It was like a really soft, like type of faux leather. It wasn't quite as well made. The arms were just non-breathable in it as well. My arms would sweat like nothing. And that's the reason also why in the first 3 videos that I've done for Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 retrospective, that my jacket suddenly gets like a different color, even though it's the same design, is because I can't remember if it was a gift or if I bought the jacket, but I got the better jacket. If you had the chance, would you ask Toby Gard? What would I ask Toby Gard? I would ask Toby Gard what he truly thinks of the series in its current state. I guess. I would ask him, I would pen him a bit more about why he left. Or did he ever think about coming back to core design after he left after Tomb Raider 1? Or if he regrets it. I would also like to ask him a bit more about, because he was apparently involved in some capacity to do with Tomb Raider 2013 as well. Why are there bikinis in Legend? As much as I would like to clown on the guy, I wouldn't want to do that. That wouldn't be professional of me. I don't know what his sense of humor is like. I have no idea if or not he'd be receptive to banter. Otherwise, I'll be asking him a question about, like, why did you make the camera in Tomb Raider Underworld zoom in right on her ass when she runs? Like she sprints. It's just, I don't know if I could get away with that. That's an interesting question, Mark. That really is. Like, I'm all for having an opportunity to speak to these people, that's for sure. No, I don't think so. Some weird-looking levels. Oh, it's a mummy! Hello, mummy. Starting to become very haunted mansion now, isn't it? I'm curious if he played any of the games he'd never worked on and what he thought of them if he did. Yeah, no, that would be a very interesting question to ask him. But I also want to speak to the people that wrote, not necessarily just designed her, but the people that wrote her. Like, is that Heather Gibson? And there's another woman as well whose name I'm completely forgetting, but the 2 ladies at Core Design that wrote her, because I think, like, they don't get enough credit. And I think a lot of people like to gloss over the fact that, like, women wrote the character of Lara Croft rather than it just being an all-male dominated thing. Vicky Arnold, yeah. She's quite hard to get a hold of now, isn't she? Which I'm guessing is why that's like an elusive find. As well as, like, the original voice actress for Natla, whoever the fuck she is. That would be a great thing. Impossible, even. Oh, is she dead? Is it one of those situations? Ah, there we go. She just might be very reclusive. Yeah, who is the OG Natla? That would be like my white whale for the series. To find out who the original voice cast would be. Would have been for the very first Tomb Raider. No, I don't think so. Just vanished like the Avatar. Yeah, Lord knows what she's up to then. It'd be fascinating to find that out, wouldn't it? Do you know what else I would like to find? I'd like to find the member of Core Design that has the backups of the original CGI render files for the FMVs. That would be amazing. So I can get the files off him and re-render them, and then we can have the ultimate best looking version of those cutscenes ever. Susie Hamilton is the third name to talk to. Who's that? And why am I only just hearing this name? Anyone who says the OG Lara is too sexy and not female empowering tends to forget that she was written by a woman. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And how she became the first big popular woman in gaming. Yep. And as much as people hate to say it, sex sells, sex appeal was indeed a massive selling point back then, and it did help the series take off. But it wasn't what the games were defined by. Again, it's the marketing that leaned more into that. That was what it was more guilty of. But the developers themselves, they were very much adverse to that. Maybe apart from the management, who wanted to maybe, who were pressured by it, or people at Eidos who were pressuring certain people to put more of that sort of stuff in it. God damn. I almost did it again. But grassroots, devs' intent was just to create a decent game with an interesting looking protagonist that was ended up being revolutionary. And then they ended up being sweatshopped into pumping out sequels left, right, and center. Oh damn, this is rather intense. There we go. Nice. Hey Ray, welcome. Yeah, she wasn't just that. She wasn't only sex appeal. So that was kind of my MO for the entire retrospective, is to show people that, remind people that. Because she wasn't just, she shouldn't be just defined by that. And the games shouldn't be defined by that too. And I think certain publications, Kotaku, like to kind of selectively remember certain parts of her history in order to sort of, make their point. And that pissed me off. Let's go. So I tried the Prince of Persia Sands of Time GOG version, and the widescreen implementation feels like vibe-coded slop. Oh, really? FOV keeps stretching and contorting weirdly. HUD is stretched. They'll fix it. They will fix it. GOG are good at keeping things up to date and spick and span from my personal experience. Ow. Geordie Bob's voice actor. That's the dream. I don't even have a face, man. Excuse me, I've got this app on my phone. It's called Face Man. I don't even have friends on Face Man. Oh, thank you, Black Sheep. And the Shadow retrospective will come. It will be on the way. You can understand why I kind of want to take a bit of a break, especially after what fucking happened with my footage. I'm just like, I just want to carry on some less threatening, less intense video content for now, and also means I can make it up to the creators that have been waiting for me to cover their creations in the level editor. I can finally get around to making videos about them, so yes. If Gecko Kid is still watching, thank you for being so fucking patient. To everyone who was watching, thank you very much for tuning in and checking out my video on Hashep Oasis. If you haven't had a chance to, please, please, please do. And show your support to Gecko and myself, obviously. I would like that very much, please. Hey, there we go. Retrospectives are a comfort to watch. The trouble is, I'd like to do more with them. I'd like to sort of like take parts of my videos and put them into shorts and stuff so I can have like more content on my socials. I just don't have time. Like I get home after work and the first thing I want to do is just sit in front of my fucking TV and just veg. Like I know I need to sort of make content, but like my energy levels sometimes it's like I get back home from work and I just want to not do anything that involves a computer. I work with computers all the time. But I want to do more, and I respect that I want to do more, and you want to see more from me, and you will do. 100% you will do. Will I do a Silent Hill retrospective after Tomb Raider? I'd like to cover them. Maybe not immediately after. I've got ideas for what I want to cover after Tomb Raider, that's for sure. I want to kind of do maybe some like, not necessarily full-blown series retrospectives, maybe like an individual video covering an entire game series, perhaps. That would be quite good. Like in a nutshell, perhaps. Or just one entry from a particular series. Maybe not as a retrospective, but just kind of like me, like, giving you a personal journey, and like a sort of like a retelling, and me basically selling you as to why I think this game's amazing. That's the type of thing I want to do. There are so many games that I think have slipped past people's radars that I would love to bring to people's attention. For sure. Yeah, like the Xbox port of Serious Sam, for example. It's like a horrifically underrated game for the original Xbox, for example. I would like to point out other games that might not necessarily be like amazing games, but like ones that are interesting oddities from my collection. Like for example, the Fifth Element game for PlayStation 1 would be a quite fun one to cover. But in that same breath, I'd also like to cover Die Hard trilogy. I want to do that as like a Christmas special. You know? I would just like to talk about games. Games that I grew up with, games that I'm still discovering, games that I would like to share with you guys, and I hope that you discover too. You know? The average Atlantean bit was brilliant. Oh, I love that skit. It was one of my favourite things to put together in this series. The 4th of July at Eli Roth's house. Yeah. Yeah, it sounded funny. If I can make myself laugh with my own stupidity, I often put it in. So I think other people will find it funny too. I like absurdist types of comedy, as well as like traditional setup punchline type comedy. Lots of observational humor. That's kind of my wheelhouse. I like to sort of take in here and then bring it out there, so you can, with my jokes, so you can see a little bit about where my thought process is with certain moments. I feel like I sometimes can offer a bit of a unique perspective on looking at certain elements of the series, that's for sure. Better hurry up on Die Hard. There's only 128 days left until Christmas. Oh, don't put it to me like that. Why not do a podcast? Well, interestingly enough, Sarah came up to me yesterday and was interested in maybe potentially exploring an idea of a podcast. About me and Sarah talking about different games. Laughing about it, chatting stuff about it, talking about our memories with it, different points and things that we loved about it, didn't love about it. If people will be interested, I would love to do it. More than love to do it. Abe's Odyssey review. I slipped. Okay. This is so much easier without the original tank controls. To play this game with a modern control and analog control scheme is so much better. Oh, that was weird. Info wars? Oh my god. Like, could you imagine the amount of traffic that we would get from people trying to search for actual... Oh, you fucking dick. For actual info wars and then getting us instead. I know it's now owned by The Onion, which to me is like, nothing... It's always going to be funny. But like... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to call that audience. It's a good pun though. For sure. There are a lot of these ghost races in this area. Fuck. One of the rarest PlayStation games you own is a puzzle game called Necronomicon, and it's fucking weird. Is it LSD Dream Emulator levels of weird, or is it something else? So I can't admit to knowing about Necronomicon. If you have a podcast about Final Fantasy X or Doom, hit me up. Oh, don't worry. I think Sarah could do a whole episode about Final Fantasy X by herself. It's pretty much her favorite game of all time, I'm pretty certain. Nice. Do a spouse plays X type thing. Totally copying Raidercast, but I'm sure you wouldn't mind. No, to be honest, we've done streams where Sarah plays through Tomb Raider 2, Tomb Raider 1. She also tried Tomb Raider 2, didn't get on with that. At some point, we're planning on starting to play Tomb Raider 3 for the first time. So be sure to tune in for that when that eventually comes around. We're going to do that when it's a lot less hot, because in this room, like already, it's like quite warm with just me in here and these fans blasting, but like with two of us sat in here, it'd just be an absolute sweat box. Not good. Pods of War, yeah, that's quite a good name. Cactus Jack. Cactus. Oh, it's Guru Larry again. Hello, you. I'm Guru Larry, and I'm gonna turn you into an abomination. Oh, fucking hell, what's that? It's like a dot in the screen and you point and click each puzzle. It's like a dot in the screen. Oh, you're a dot in the screen and you point and click on each puzzle. Okay, sounds intriguing. I might have to look up like a trailer, some kind of gameplay, let's play of this Necronomicon thing, so I can get a feel for it. You and Sarah could play Pandemonium. Pandemonium would be interesting. Oh, here they go. Hello, you. I'm Cactus Jack. Oh, fuck. Whoa, whoa. Slow down there, Maurice. Okay. Wait for him to go absolutely crazy again. One more hit. And then that will do for tonight's stream, I think. Oh, thanks, Scott. I'm sure she'll like seeing you say that. Whoa! Going absolutely mental. I like how when you defeat the enemies, they're just kind of just nonplussed. Like you didn't do anything, really. Very strange. Cactus Taz. Defeat Defeato Burrito. Hang on a minute. I have to play this just because of the name alone. I'll make time. Defeato Burrito. Oh, I just got shot. Fab. You plus. Okay. Brilliant. Get the extra lives. Happy days. Defeato Burrito. Is this just like one big tower that I've got to climb? Up. Only up Croc edition. No. Did you ever go back to that, by the way, Scott? 'Cause I know you really, unfortunately, really dicked yourself over with the accidental save. Come on. With the accidental save that you did. I really felt for you when I saw that happen. I was like, oh, dude. Saving whilst you're in midair, and it was your only save slot as well. Just crushing. That shouldn't have killed me. I hit the platform and it was going up. Meanwhile, at Burrito Towers... Still finding your way to the top, back up to the top floor. Oh, to that floor. I'm almost there. You will beat it. I believe, Scott. I believe. But I also believe if you want to take your time with it, because that was an experience. Okay, next one. Okay. How does one get it? I completely have forgotten. Just pick the fucker up, thank you. Jesus Christ. It's just like, I'm gonna swim around the key and not pick it up. My hitbox is just finicky for some reason. Burrito defeated, everyone. That level set is why I vowed no banana jumps in my trolley. That's fair. That's completely fair. Tower of Power. I think we're on the final... not the final world, but the final vanilla world, shall we say. We're going to go back. It's to desktop. Yes. Head back to the chat. Well, thanks everyone for rejoining me for some more Tomb Raider shenanigans and Croc shenanigans. It's been amazing to be able to draw on the chalkboard with you folks, to talk to you again. And I will see you again on the next stream on Thursday. We're going to be continuing through more Croc. But then afterwards, unfortunately, I'm going to have to take another week off. I am being sent away by work for training. So I'm basically going away and I won't be having any kind of time to be able to do some streams. So sorry for that. Again, I'm going to have to duck out, but I hope you understand. But Thursday, this week, definitely still happening. So I hope you join me then. In the meantime, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you to everyone who's still watching now, anyone who's watching back on the VOD. Stay safe, raid on, you lovely, lovely people, and I will catch you on next Thursday's stream. Well, this Thursday's stream, I should say. Take care now. Bye-bye then. Oh, it's warm.